Cakes has a list.
Yeah.
I have a list. We'll start at the bottom.
Yeah.
But the top is going to be the same as the thing.
Start at the bottom.
You guys
of
both
course.
have OV at the top, of course.
I know. I think the arguments are going to be at the bottom.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
fine.
But
So
we
maybe
can
you should
start at the
top.
bottom.
Maybe you should start at the top because
Starting
they're
at the
most,
top.
Because they're
Who's
the most
not going to have
obvious. Hold
OV
on,
number
Cakes.
one?
Because here's JP's point is, and I think he's right. The most obvious is at the top.
Sure.
It's the
I
arguments
just
are going
don't
to
like starting lists from 1 to 10.
I know you're in a box.
I know,
Actually, it's just the way they're usually done.
but in this case,
But it's fine. If we want to do something different, a different bit, that's fine.
But the arguments are going to be more at the bottom. Like, okay.
Definitely.
Who's your number one, Cakes?
Well, you need to ask.
Exactly.
So Alex
That's the
Ovechkin.
point.
OV. So we don't want it to be
And the whole
anticlimactic.
point is,
Yeah.
like you said earlier, the whole point was, you're like, man, can we just do a top 5? Because you're going to be hard pressed to go
Wait, you both have
beyond
OV
5.
1. Who's 2? Sam Howell.
I have Sam Howell at number 2.
I also have Sam Howell number 2.
I don't see how
He's
you
the quarterback of the Commanders.
Number 3, Terry McLaurin.
I have Terry McLaurin number 3.
Cakes?
I have T-Mac at 3.
Terry McLaurin. So you
Terry
guys are
McLaurin, yeah.
See?
And
Exactly.
I didn't even do it.
Right.
And we're coming up
He
with
wanted
it.
to start at number
All right,
10.
Number
Donk.
4.
All right,
I
I've
have-
got TJ Oshie.
I have another capital that's not T.J. Oshie. I have Willie. I have Tom Wilson.
Okay, I have Willie number 5.
All right, so flip-flop those, same thing.
I
All right.
have-
I don't know who his number 5 is.
I have the guy whose jersey is hanging to my left, John Allen.
Ahead
number
of
5.
Oshie.
I don't have Oshie on my list.
You botched it.
Wow.
I mean, it was a scattershot list.
All right, you
Trav wanted
botched
to make
it.
it
You
at
botched
6:02 this morning.
You've only had 2.5 hours to come up with
All right, you
it.
botched Oshie.
All right, so
I mean, I
it's
love
just
John
an
Allen,
oversight. Oversight by Cakes.
All right.
I will say I do have Jonathan Allen on my list. I have him number 7.
All right, hold on. Let's say it 5. So you have Oshie and Wilson.
I have
So who's 6 for you?
number 6. I think I'm not necessarily a huge fan, but he's super recognizable. I guess you would call that popular. And it's not so much for his on the court. It's for like his wacky bits, the way he dresses.
Yeah.
But he is the leading scorer.
Kuzma.
I've got Kyle Kuzma.
I also have Kuzma at 6.
Wow. All right, 7. That means we're getting down to the nubs right now.
So 7, I've got Jonathan Allen.
Okay. I
All right.
have Tiafo, who I need to remind
It's a good
everybody
one.
I beat him in Wii tennis. It's one of my greatest
All right.
athletic achievements of all time.
My number 8 is Denny Avdia. And I just think that on the
I don't know if
Wizards,
he'd make my list of 88. 8.
I think his,
Denny's breakfast.
Yeah, and you know what?
He's-
You just took me off the list for Oshie. Thank
No.
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead.
I think that he's pretty
He has a-
recognizable.
He has a love affair with Denny, obviously.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's
I
pretty
think
weird.
I think
Luca Light.
Yeah, he's
no,
been
I
Luka
think
Light
there's
for
a
3
reason.
years.
Oh, I don't think he's very
You
light.
backed
turns
off
out.
that. Yeah.
But I think that he's recognizable. He's a white player on the Wizards.
What does that mean?
There's not as many of them.
I don't know if he'd make the list
I think
of...
Corey
I know
Kispert
Corey
would be
Kispert,
higher.
too.
I don't know if he would make the list of top 10 Israeli
He's also
players in D.C.
He's Israeli. He's
What does
been
that
on
have
the
to do
team.
with anything?
He's been on the team for a while. There's certain aspects of him that stand out. Like whenever we talk about the Wizards, with any Wizards insider, he's going to be one of the first names that comes up.
Not
He
for
just-
me.
Okay, not for you, but he is. I think he's pretty recognizable, and he's been in town for a while. Like if you went
All
through
right.
the Wizards,
You can
who's
keep trying
your
to justify
second?
it. So far, you're
who do you think
failing.
is your second most recognizable to the public Wizards player?
Right now, without looking at the roster off the top of my head.
Koulibaly,
Koulibaly.
my guy.
He's not recognizable.
I recognize him.
He might be.
Valdez
Most people don't
recognizes
even
him.
know him.
I mean, it's not Jordan Poole.
You know-
Nobody
Danny
likes him.
is.
The answer's none.
Yeah.
Denny has
That's the
a much
answer.
bigger- how do
Sorry,
they-
Monumental,
how do they
but the answer's
measure-
none.
How do they measure stars?
rating or
Q
whatever?
rating. His Q rating, I would argue, is the second highest on the team.
Denny
That might be
Yes.
the case, but it's not great.
It's not Daniel.
high.
It's not about play. It's not about.
Right. I
mean-
would say Kispert's is just as high. Is maybe higher.
I don't think so.
My number 8 is
I don't
way
think it's
sillier.
close.
All right, go ahead.
Josiah Gray. I have Josiah Gray.
I
at
think
number
his
8.
Q rating is super low.
All right.
I've got
taking-
Tiafo, number 9 for me
All
behind
right,
Denny.
who's your number 9?
Carly, John Carlson.
All right, that's a good one. Carlson should be
and
ahead of.
and this is
All right, go ahead, 10.
I put a Nationals player. Okay, Josiah Gray. Yes, he made the All-Star team, but you couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
I actually could. I know what he looks like.
Okay, most people couldn't pick him out of a lineup. And most people probably couldn't pick my number 10 either. It's C.J. Abrams.
That's who I have at number
but
10
I
as
put
well.
Abrams ahead of
Right.
Josiah Gray because the everyday player. He did have 47 stolen bases. He hit 18 home runs.
It's
But I
fine.
don't really
you know who you
believe
missed?
in it.
You know who you missed? And it should have bumped obviously. Both you guys missed, and these guys pointed it out. Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky counts.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Katie,
think of her.
I know you didn't.
All right.
I mean, she's
I'll bump
she
CJ
she
out.
probably deserves
Katie
recognition, but
Ledecky is in the top 10 DC athletes.
I'm
Without question.
I'm putting her
Without
in.
question.
who
You
would
can't
I
even
bump?
argue.
Let's see. Who
well,
would I bump
you
here?
got to bump Avia.
No, I'm bumping Abrams. I'm not
Abrams
bumping
above
Avdia.
Avia.
Avdia's cute.
You know what? I'll bump Josiah Gray. You get scratched
I would
out.
actually
Ledecky.
argue Denny McCarthy greater than Denny Avdia.
All right, Ledecky's my number 8.
But I can tell you this. I've heard Denny McCarthy's name on this show for years and years. If he walked
And he
in
was
here,
in here. He was in here.
If he
You
walked,
don't remember?
I don't think I was here that day. If he came in the studio, I wasn't here. If he came in with 10 other white guys, all right, I'm assuming he's white.
He's so white.
JP's really hung up on skin color.
Yeah,
in
you're
this
so
segment.
skin color.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
what's up with
saying.
that, JP?
I wouldn't know who Denny McCarthy is. I don't know what he looks like. Do you know what he looks like?
He's a short guy that hits bombs.
I know
and
he's-
wears a Nike hat.
I know he has a great resume.
He's a great putter. He's known for being maybe the best putter in the world.
I would recognize him because he sat, I think, in that chair a few
So
years
that,
ago.
that kind of proves I wasn't
Yeah,
here.
right.
There you go.
I would say Carlson is ahead of some of these numbers.
I have him at number 9.
Definitely ahead of. You don't have Carlson. He's definitely ahead of Denny Avia. Most
You know, what am I doing
recognizable.
here? Ledecky goes in, but she flip-flops with C.J. Abrams. No, Carly goes up to 8.
Dude, Ledecky's top 5.
No, Ledecky goes down
She's
to
ahead of
no,
Wilson.
she goes down to 10.
She swims every
Dude,
4
it's
years.
It's a swimmer.
Nobody pays attention
and
to
it's a
her.
nub sport. It's swimming.
She's the female Michael Phelps.
People don't.
I get
ca-
that.
Here's
Yeah.
what people care about swimming.
If
Like
we-
you said,
I
every
wish we
4
could
years.
put Phelps on the list.
All right. Are we missing
You
anybody?
can't claim Phelps.
I know.
Let's open
we're
up
not
to
there.
callers.
So I said I wish.
Let's open up to callers.
She's number 10.
800-636-1067.
Top fiver.
Are
No
we
way.
missing
Ledecky's a top
anybody?
fiver.
No way.
By the way, when it comes to the Nationals, I was tempted to put Joey Meneses because I think the story, like in terms of Q rating, right? If you ask the
He is for
average
me,
person
but-
on the streets who's a casual Nationals fan, and you just said, name a Nationals player. I don't know that they're going to come up with Josiah Gray as your top choice or even C.J. Abrams, but the Joey Meneses story resonated for
Joey
a while.
Meneses. Okay, no offense to him. His Q rating is minus 5,000.
Okay, you think that C.J. Abrams
Minus
and Josiah Gray
5,000.
are higher?
Then Meneses? Yes.
I don't
Yes,
know about that.
yeses over Meneses.
I don't know about that.
Yes. Meneses, his Q rating is subterranean. I don't even know. What are you talking about? Denny Avdia
He's a
on your
popular
list?
player.
No,
It's
he's
about
not.
who's popular.
He's not that
He's
popular.
you know what he is? He's
Neither are C.J. Abrams and Josiah
They're
Gray.
more
B.
popular than Meneses.
I'll be honest with you. None of those would have made my list.
Meneses is like a cult hero type guy. His
Okay.
Q rating
Correct.
is
And that gives you Q
nubs.
rating.
It's nubs.
Hold on.
I don't know
None
what
of those
this
guys would
person's
have made my
talking
list.
about.
None of those guys would have made my list.
I think that's fair.
Carlson, Oshie, all those cats ahead of any Wizard,
I would, yeah.
even ahead of Kuz, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Kuz is,
I just threw the Wizards a bone by putting Kuzma in here.
Yeah.
He'd really, personally,
Kuz
he
would
doesn't
be
do
like,
that much.
He's
for me.
below Ledecky.
What about Jameer Young? You think he cracks the list? Maybe
don't.
sneaks into the top 10?
I mean, he can't crack it over Talia. Talia is more popular, has better Q rating than Jameer Young,
I guess that's
in
true.
my opinion. And he didn't make the list.
You're disrespecting Joey Meneses.
I love the Joey Meneses story.
I love the
telling you,
story, but
he's a more
Nine
popular
people
player.
know who he is.
You don't even watch a minute of the Nats
I'll
all
tell you this,
season long.
if Joey Meneses walked into this building right now without his Nats gear on and just started strolling around the cubicles, the empty cubes here, nobody would know who he is. Not one person. You might, 'cause you have a
Danny
weird-
would.
They would know, but nobody else. They'd be like, who's this new guy?
Okay,
Is he
what
in
about C.J.
sales?
Abrams?
C.J. Abrams, instantly recognizable.
Right.
Young, fresh face, kind of a face of the franchise. Joey Meneses.
No.
Hey,
Denny
black in
Avdia-
baseball.
Denny Avdia
Black
would
in
be-
baseball. That's his argument, right? White in basketball, black in baseball.
It's a good point.
It's the JP argument.
Solid point.
I don't.
Yeah, but just
I don't
name
care
two.
what their skin color is, ethnicity. That factors zero in my decision.
Yeah, but Denny, there's a story there. There's not. I mean, how many Israeli players are there?
I've never thought of him
I
about
don't
being
even-
Israeli other than like draft night.
Right. Well,
It doesn't factor.
It's part of his resume.
Okay, but not for me. He's.
I
just
understand
a
that,
regular
of course, in terms of the play. But if you're talking about your Q factor,
I look at Denny Avdia and I go, what a disappointment he's been.
Why are you guys only talking Q factor?
He's a nice guy.
Popularity.
well, same reason why Jason Kelsey is
What is
on
the list?
Eagles
Is it most
list.
popular?
It says top 10 athletes. Zach Wheeler was number 3 on their list.
Hold on, Jason.
So
Jason
if you just
Kelsey.
want production, then yeah, I'd be willing to knock out Denny Avdia. But I thought it has a little bit to do with the popularity.
Hold on, Jason Kelsey is a Pro Bowl
He's
center,
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame center that won a Super Bowl that basically got up in front of the city of Philadelphia and won them over in his weird outfit.
His weird,
and then
sultan outfit.
is the face of the most popular play.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be on the list. I'm just saying he's not
in
sexy.
the NFL.
Yeah, Evie just takes umbrage with the
No,
sexy label.
He could be on the list.
I know, but we're like,
I don't think
this
he's
weird,
sexy.
the weird factor, like Jason Kelsey is like some weird dude that only Philly likes.
No, he's a great player.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot going for him.
He's a great player.
For sure. I'm
So
not
then I'll
arguing
bump
him on the
if,
list.
if it's about
I'm arguing
production.
sexy.
If it's about production, then I'll bump Denny Avdia and put Deron Payne on. And if it's about production, Sam Howell would be questionable.
You
I
know
put
what?
Terry McLaurin above him.
Cam Curl.
Right.
I put Cam Curl
Then
ahead
those
of some of
guys,
those donks.
production-wise, are better than Sam Howell.
Sam Howell's pretty good.
Sam Howell.
You're sleeping on Sam Howell
leading
a
the
little
league
bit.
in yardage.
I'm just
and
saying,
he's top 4 in touchdowns.
Cam Curl's made a Pro Bowl, I believe.
Yeah, but you know what? He's a safety. He does.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
Quarterback
so
are
then-
way more
Hold on,
important.
so
I'm
that
not
comes to my
Cam-
point that
I'm not sure Cam
popularity is
Curl's
part of
made a
it.
Pro
Sure.
Bowl.
I don't
think
know.
he
So
just invented
popularity
a
is
stat.
part of it. It's not just production. It's not the top 10 most productive
best
athlete.
athlete.
I agree with
Best-
it. I agree with that. But you're making it sound like Denny Avdia is like Taylor Swift popular.
Nobody's popular.
I don't understand that.
He's
He
not
is.
popular in my house.
Okay.
I mean, he's just not.
All right, we'll go to the calls next. 800-636-1067. You can ridicule us, mock us.
Please do.
That's probably why EB didn't want to do a list. He just wanted to be
Yeah, he just gets
peanut
to attack. He
gallery.
just gets to
Right.
jump
our
off the
list
top
would be very
rope.
similar.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones. 800-636-1067. You can call us
I
the
just don't
MGM
know where
National Harbor
JP
list
hangs
lines.
out. Denny Avdia is so popular.
He is.
He literally has never come up in a conversation
On the Wizards?
in my lifetime.
Okay.
My lifetime.
He's
outside of
he
the
is-
studio. It's never ever.
he's a
no one ever
super
said,
well-known
hey,
wizard.
Hey, when you're at Norbeck after your round, is anyone
never happened.
is anyone going? Hey, did you see Denny the other day?
No,
No,
never.
but Denny's got a bobblehead,
Here's
and
where
like
it
a lot of those
stems
players
from.
don't.
Bobblehead.
Here's where it stems
I know,
from.
but my point is on that team in terms
I
of
would
known
argue
athletes
I might
in
be
DC.
more popular than Denny Avdia.
JP's an NBA mark. That's kind of where it's coming.
I
I
think
think
that's
that's
what
where
it
it's
is.
coming from.
Yeah, but he's the 5th most popular player on the Wizards,
I don't
probably.
understand.
I don't
him
think so.
Highlighting Denny Avdia, I don't get it either.
I think he's the second most popular player on the team.
Kuzma.
Popular. I'm not saying production.
Kuzma Poole, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
I would say
there's
I would say
Johnny Davis. I mean, I don't know.
Deladon's more popular than Denny Avdia.
Koulibaly-
Nobody
Koulibaly.
thinks about Denny Avdia
I
right
know.
now.
It's
Kispert's
literally in my,
more-
it's a
in my,
weird, it's a
for
weird
Kisper-
JP
Yeah.
thing.
It's in
It's
my
not a JP
lifetime.
thing. It's reality. I
I'm
don't know
just
how
saying
we
in
can
my
determine
lifetime,
Q.
I've never had a conversation
Remember,
about him.
he's a
outside of the
white
studio.
guy. He gets on the list.
That has
He's
to be
known.
part
He's
of it.
Israeli. Those are part of the reasons. Say he's more popular.
Maybe in Israel, but here he's not.
Look,
I mean,
in
he's just
JP's
not.
sphere, in his world, Denny Avdia is way more popular than we apparently know or think he is. But in the rest
He's
of,
more
in the
known.
rest
He
of
is.
humanity, I don't think he is.
More importantly, he's done nothing on the court to be on that list.
Yeah, all I see is disappointment when I see him. Yeah. All right, let's back these calls.
It's an argument that will rage on for eternity.
I didn't know JP thought he was number 2. Maybe he is. Maybe if he is,
Where
it
did-
tells you
where
how
did JP
bad
have
they
him
are.
on his list? What
Number 8?
Number 8. Okay, at least if he had him in the top 5, we might have to throw JP out.
He's. I'm telling you, he is the second most recognizable and known wizard. You can have an argument
Okay.
like EB says no wizard should be on the list, and that's very fair. But if you're going to include 2, which I did,
Okay, well, when you
He's
say
number
he's the
2.
second most popular, okay, Kuzma's up here.
yes.
And then Denny down here.
All right.
All right.
Like, hey, come on down here.
Right. All right. Let's ban these calls. Let's give people a chance to chime in on this. It's always funny.
I hope my hip is okay after that. I think I'm good.
All right.
There's a slight fall. I'm fine.
Just to point out, Jordan Poole has 2.5 million Instagram followers. Denny has 200,000.
Okay.
But
But in
you made it a
DC
popularity contest.
That's a national popularity contest. Did Jordan Poole build that up because of his play with the Wizards and being known in D.C.? He was with the Golden State Warriors for years.
Denny's built nothing up.
I know.
There's no foundation.
Okay, well, how many does Corey Kispert have?
Nobody
Maybe,
has
maybe a college fan.
He's not popular either.
I like Corey Kispert.
I think
he's
he's kind of popular because he's like good-looking kid who's successful in college. And obviously just fell out of Israel, just like literally like jumped out of a helicopter or something. I mean, he didn't have a college career. He had an international career that no one followed.
The Wizards fan base. Corey Kispert has 12,000 followers.
Hey, Elena Deladon has 460,000.
Denny to Kispert, 200,000 to 12,000.
I was talking about Instagram. You're just making stuff up.
I thought it was Twitter. Sorry, I'll look at Corey Kispert's
Neither
Instagram.
one of them are popular. Kispert won't be on the top 50 athlete list.
A WNBA player has twice as many as
Deladon is super.
That might have been an oversight. Yeah, she's popular.
She might deserve to be
Corey
there.
Kispert has 74,000
In fact,
Instagram
you could maybe
followers.
argue Deladon greater than any Wizard.
In terms of popularity?
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, let's go to Brandon, Arlington. Brandon, what's
you sleep on Denny's popularity.
Yes, you're right.
It's going to be a bit.
JP is so hung up on this. No, I just wanted to do
hung up on it. These guys attacking me.
I wanted to. Well, this just proves the power of the Junks getting #1 ratings, making lemonade out of lemons. If this is who you guys have to talk about.
We got nothing, right?
I know this is what we've had to deal with for 27, 28 years.
Premium
No.
time
If we
slot
did this a
show,
couple years ago when we had Wall and Beal.
So that was my point. I wanted to do a good old days bit because you guys did this exact bit a decade ago. Because in like 2013, ESPN ranked star power and said DC had the #1 star power. And think about it. We had RG3, Rookie of the Year. EB called him R-Jesus, bust-proof.
Thank you.
Well, that's not a back-padding machine because that was a
Well,
bust.
no, but those were bust-proof. Okay, that didn't work out. RG3, R-Jesus, that was one of the great nicknames.
That's solid.
Yeah.
RG Screen was good, too,
and then-
because that was proven out.
Go ahead.
And then the Nats had Bryce Harper coming off Rookie of the Year,
Right.
best young offensive player in the game. Strasburg, best pitcher in the game. The Caps were winning President's Cups left and right.
We had
Had
Ovi.
Ovi and Backy at the peak of their powers.
President's trophies.
Beal had just been drafted. You got Wall and Beal, top 3 picks. Like, you couldn't even fit anyone in the top 10. And now we're debating Denny Avdia versus Denny McCarthy. It's just,
That's a very good point. It's a great point that you bring up.
Just depressing.
Right.
But life of a DC fan.
Yeah.
We got our Stanley Cup. We got our World Series.
Somehow we got 2 of those things. I don't know how.
Yeah.
We'll take them.
EB, we're tuning back into the Wizards in 2028, right?
Yeah, the rebuilding,
I'm not
man.
allowed to say that anymore.
Rebuild mode.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you,
Monumental.
Brandon.
All right.
He does make, we did have some good old days,
Oh, yeah, dude.
although they weren't winning. The
That
ultimate
mattered.
thing.
We had stars.
By the way, we're allowed.
Well, I wanted to put, yesterday when I thought about this, like I would put Zimmerman on the list. He's just not active.
Sure. Just to let the listeners know, we are allowed to recycle bits once per decade. That's fine. So if we're still doing this,
What are you talking about? You think we haven't talked about the naked guy at the sauna a million times on the show?
But I'm saying, like, lists like this,
It's always a different naked guy.
we can do it once per decade. It's good.
All right, let's go to John in Clarksburg. John, what's up?
Hey, guys.
up, John?
Here's one that, probably is going to sound weird, but I believe he's the longest tenured commander, Tress Way.
I know people are
consistent.
lobbying for Tress.
Yeah, he's all pro, consistent, doesn't make a ton of mistakes. So, I mean, we've got,
Super
we're debating
popular.
over.
He's very popular for a punter.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
He's borderline like Pat McAfee-ish while McAfee was playing. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's kind of like a cult-like following. If we're debating over, Denny Avdia and Josiah Gray,
He's
I
definitely
think
ahead of
Tress Way
those
deserves
guys.
a little respect.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Put some
that was
respect
it.
on
By the
Tress
way,
Way's name.
Denny's a one-name guy. Denny. If I just say Denny, you know who you're talking about.
Good. Depends on. It's got to
No,
be context.
he's a
I need
one-namer.
context.
He's not. He's Madonna. He's Prince.
In this town, Gates.
I wholeheartedly
I'm telling you.
disagree.
Put a lot of the guys on the
You
list.
said Denny.
Carly,
If you said
Oshie.
Denny, I think we're getting a grand slam.
A
You've
lumberjack.
recycled
slam.
that. Talk about recycling it. He
So-
did
I'm
that
just
last-
saying.
He did that last segment.
Hey, it's
People,
okay.
people talk about Denny McCarthy. They talk about the putting prowess.
Who does? Now I'm disagreeing with you. Who talks about Denny McCarthy's putting prowess?
Guys I hang out with.
Okay, a very small, insulated group of golf
Naked
nerds.
golf guys. All right, who's up?
Go to Brian in D.C. Brian, what's up?
Hey guys, great show.
Thanks.
First of all, Philadelphia fan, so like my list a lot better than your guys.
Well, your
but
list is better. No
I'll take.
doubt.
I'll throw a couple out there. What about Trinity Rodman and Batista?
All right. Batista.
Trinity Rodman.
actor.
Somebody tweeted us that she's a great player, and she plays for the DC team. It's essentially a niche sport.
Yeah.
Or niche, however you want to pronounce it.
I just
came
can't
up
put
with
it in
niche.
there.
Now everybody calls it niche.
Right.
I don't understand
Listen,
that.
I'm sure she's great. I mean, she was on the national team, right?
Yes, correct.
It's just
mean-
not enough eyeballs. They play. You know what? They play at the same complex oftentimes. Now I know now they're playing over in Audi, but in the past they would play at the same complex where I've played men's league games.
Yeah, you know what? Sorry.
yeah.
It's soccer. It's just lower tier.
No, but
Now
like,
they play in the
NBC,
stadium,
like,
but I've played in
I'm gonna
stadium
go
too.
back, 15 years. But if like Marco Echeverri was here, you put him on the list. He'd be on the list.
Maybe. I'm giving him
Wayne
a maybe.
Rooney when he was playing.
Ben Olsen.
You can put El
Yeah.
Diablo on the list. I think that's Echeverry's nickname.
Yeah, 100%.
And Jaime Moreno,
Right.
Yes.
Jeff Agus.
Now you can't name. I tried to name a DC United player the other day. I couldn't.
What happened to your Tamatha goalie? He's gone.
I don't think he's on the United anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he's coaching at the Math. All right, let's go to Jim Bob. Jim Bob, what's up?
Hey,
Whoa,
Jim
whoa,
Bob
stop,
from Chevy
stop,
Chase.
stop. Jim Bob, stop. We have a glaring omission. I think Paul Rabel.
Oh, that's a good one.
Paul Rabel's the greatest lacrosse. Now, it's more of a niche sport. I understand.
Nope, retired.
Oh, he's not active anymore.
Not active. That's why Backy's not in there. That's why Zim's
Okay,
not
that's
in
good.
there.
But
That's
if he
true.
were active, that would have
But
been
if
an
Rabel
oversight.
was, I would argue for him.
I mean,
But didn't he play for a non-DC team? The Whip Snakes or whoever? I don't know.
No, he didn't. But he played for the
You
Canes.
gotta, you gotta have a team that's playing for DC.
yeah. So I just forgot that he was
Yeah, but-
retired. But
well, is that true?
Yeah, because otherwise you'd put Durant in there. He's not,
Right, or you like any DeMatha kid that's in the NFL
right,
or
can't
something.
do that.
right.
Right. All right, Jim Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, so first off, the Wizards, they're trash. They're not on the list. But we got another court sport we play over here in Chevy Chase. You even play it at Norbeck.
Right, you're talking
What
about Ben
about
Johns.
Ben John, the number one pickleball player in the world.
Put Ben Johns over Trinity Rodman. Sorry. Ben Johns over Trinity Rodman.
Now, if we did a niche sports list, Ben John's going to make the list. But we're not doing niche
I'm not going to say
sports.
he's top 10, but he's number one in his field. And
Scotty Scheffler worked the
more people know Ben Johns than Trinity Rodman.
Well,
I don't agree with that.
Dude, you
No
know how many millions
chance.
of people play pickleball and know Ben Johns? Like 40 million, 50 million? Like pickleball players
40
know.
million people know Ben Johns.
If 40
No
million people,
chance.
every pickleball player in the world knows Ben Johns.
no,
No
they don't.
chance.
That's incorrect.
No chance. I
They
guarantee you.
don't- not every
I'm willing
player
to bet
knows
this.
Ben.
Or half of them.
I'm willing to bet
Maybe.
this. I'm willing to bet this, and I don't know.
Go ahead.
But my daughter, Kelsey, plays pickleball in L.A. once a week. She's got a group of friends. They play pickleball. I guarantee she don't know Ben Johns.
Text her right now.
Well, she's not awake. It's 5:39.
Well,
Text her.
This is
I'll
that
wait for the
important.
answer.
Ben Johns has less followers than Kispert.
What does
I
that
mean,
mean?
Let me. Your
Well,
whole
how many
argument
does
that
he
he's
have? How
popular.
many does he have?
50,000. You have more
On
than
what?
that.
Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't have that many on Instagram. You see, people know Ben Johns in the pickleball world.
Well, every little girl knows who
Everybody-
Trinity
Yeah, but
everybody
people
Rodman is.
play
She plays
pickleball.
soccer.
They don't watch pickleball. Most people that play pickleball aren't watching pickleball. If so, they would have higher ratings than the NFL.
Which
It's
we
just-
know
it's
will
just-
never
and
The
the
happen.
problem is it's on like CBS.com.
Yeah,
or
it's on
something,
CBS
you know,
Sports Network.
It's on Nubs Network. All right, let's go, Matt. All right, I know we got a break. Last one, just last one. Matt, South River, quick.
Hey, fellas, come on.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
Hey, I was lobbying for Della Don originally, but
That's a good one.
while waiting on hold, I said Travis Pastrana.
Niche sport.
Isn't he pretty much done?
I met him. A nice guy.
Yeah,
He's got
nice
great
guy,
stories.
but it's
He's got
BMX and
unbelievable
and
stories.
motocross.
But I think he doesn't even do. I think he just drives the little cars around now, right? Because his body's so broken.
I don't know if his body's broke. I mean, he was walking around pretty normal when I met him. He was
he
at the
can
Cal
walk,
Ripken
but
event.
walking better than Valdez.
You know how many times the
Definitely.
guy's wrecked? His greatest bit of all time.
I know.
Go to YouTube. He jumped out of a plane with no parachute.
I made him tell the
Pretty
story.
good one.
Greatest story I've ever. That's insane. If he was playing still, I'd put him on the list.
I think
maybe.
he found like a donk. He couldn't even get insured. He found like a donk to fly the plane. He had like
Well, I think he had to do it
donks
like
helping him
over
out.
Puerto Rico or something.
Yes.
They couldn't even do it here.
Yep.